Hello everyone, this is my first tutorial for basics of Unity. It's version 4, the last version updated. And so this is when we make a new project. We have a hierarchy and we have a projects which has assets. Assets, we can have the models, sons and everything here. We have animation. That's I just added there. How you can add like new tabs, like animation, project, or like I did another scene view, and game view. To create an object, we can just go simply here and make different primitive objects. It's right there. So when object is selected, just press F and it's gonna zoom in on that object, and right on the right side we have the positions. We can just set it to 0, and the rotation and the scale, and this is inspector of that object, which has all information, component, and anything you can change is there about that object. Right now I selected the camera and I have the camera's properties, so I can choose the sky color here, a little brighter, and I can choose skybox, but right now we are not doing it. So, and then you can also add objects from game objects, create other, and then like a cube. There's my cube, and we can add assets or packages from the assets. Like if I add a character controller, it's gonna ask me to import all these assets. Right. So right now I can add my basic character controller and let's say third person shooter. Oh, this is first person, sorry. Okay, and now I have two cameras, so it's gonna probably bug us. So just let's delete this other camera here, and we have this. I can rename it here, player, so I can look on game viewport, which is the same viewport as the camera. So here we have a moving option, rotating and scaling. Like if I select the cube, I can move, rotate, and scale. Now I can go switch those fast by keys like a Q for just moving the thing, panning, and then W for moving, and E rotation, and R for scale. Alright, and F again, zooming. Now I want to rotate my camera, I mean not really camera, the viewport. So hold the Alt key and then hold the left key on the mouse and then rotate it. And okay, like this. So we have a how you see when you want to move, it's the axes are rotating. So what if you want to move this object as a local? I mean, right now it says local, and it's gonna be global. So global is the word axis, which is just flat. So it doesn't matter you rotate the object, it's gonna stay in the same way. So you can move it as a word position, not the local position. So, and then I want to change to global, to local. Now see the difference. And also we have a pivot and center. Right now it doesn't change anything here, but sometimes it does because we have a different object attached together, and pivot and center is different in different position. So, and just be careful when you set your third person player, it won't fall off like this. If I run my game, see, I'm nowhere, I'm falling down. So be careful about that, and then run again. Now I have it, but everything is dark gray except the sky. So I go ahead and add directional light. It doesn't matter where to place the directional light, but it matters the rotation. Just run. Okay, now we got this, and nice collision here. I can fall. Wow. Right. Wow. So this is a basic. Here I can go ahead and create a folder and scripts and prefab, material, animation, and all the rest here. I can create material here and name it Mat1 for test, and let's give this one a green color and diffuse. We have different type of shaders. So we have detail and bumped, which we should have a normal map. We don't have now. And you can give a texture here. I don't have texture, but just let's say this one. By dragging to the object, it applies to the object. If you want to remove the texture just now, we have our green material there. So when I go to the object properties or inspector, I can see the material here. I even can add materials by raising this number, like 2, increasing that, so mat1 again. So if you choose anything here, an asset or in a scene, and Control D or Command D in Mac, you duplicate it. Like that. So I choose the material and Command D, I duplicate it to mat2, and I choose the white. I go transparent and okay, it's like this. Now I can drag and drop here, so assign that to this. So now we are mixing two materials, not two type actually. This is two materials mixed. And you can just delete it or change the properties of, just note it, I mean, be careful. If you change anything here, like if I go to the red, so my main material is changing. It's not just the material attached to the object, so you're changing the material on the prefab. So if I give this, it's still red, and if I change it here, it's same, because it just referred to that material. It's not copying, it's not duplicated. So be careful with that. If you change it somewhere and you see changes in somewhere else in your level, you know what's the reason. Anyway, right now we have that, and we can just remove the material, deleting it. Now it's so ugly. And right now it's kind of transparent. Oh, I cannot see it anymore. So go ahead and add just one, and if you notice, by default is the default material. That's why, because the mesh renderer is the component, it's rendering the mesh, and if you do not have the mesh renderer, there is no mesh to render, but you still have the collider box. Another thing on this, so if you resize, the collider box is resizing. If you rotate or whatever do, it's applying to collider box. What if I want a bigger or smaller collider box on my object? Simply just hold the shift and hold the shifting button. You see small boxes appears on the four sides, and you can just resize. So if I just make it smaller, oops, just be careful. What are yeah, I know it's not really friendly. Okay. Okay. Now my player will get inside the box. I mean cube. Uh-oh. This is not good. But sometimes we need something like this. And something else. When you play the game and you decide to go and change things, like I make this bigger, I move this and go back. Hey, everything's changed. Okay, this is good. I decided to be like this. Okay, now stop the game, and everything is resetting. So this is the way that's more for testing. You can move your character or whatever to test or debug your runtime. So runtime editing is not changing anything in a real scene. So we have add components here. So we have different components. Useful one is a physic, rigid body, that gives us a regular physic, rigid body, and let's see, gravity is on, and you have options here, mass, you can change those, or freezing position or rotation. If I freeze the position, that this cube gonna stay there even the gravity is on. or if I freeze the rotation, no matter what happened, the rotation is gonna stay the same. So we're gonna try that too. Oops. One more. Okay. Now let's see. It is. We're gonna freeze all the rotations. So I want my cube to be exact in the same way. So see what happens. And get inside the second cube, because what I applied to the collider box. Oops. And depends on what you want to do to your object. We're freezing the position. So now, if I freeze the position here, how I said, it's gonna freeze over there. But if I give this rigid body, well, let me show you something. If you go here and then right click, you have a copy component. So go here and just right click one of the components and just paste component as new. You have that here. Hey, I go back and just turn these off. Come here. I want to reset that. Okay, I reset it. Now I have the full size collider box. I want a smaller. Okay. Okay. So it's freeze, but this one is not. It's actually hitting it. Yeah. Let's see what's gonna happen. Oh. See? Because rotation is not freeze, but position is his. So it's just rotating and not move. And if I freeze the positions, no rotation. It's like, and nothing applied. I mean, no physics. Just simply turn off the gravity. See what happens. Ooh. Ah, I was going to. Okay, never mind. So we have something else here. It's called physics material that gives a physical material to the object, which you can create here. Physics material. So we're gonna go through this later. What else we can create for basic packages. And so this is all for this time. And always remember to save your project and then save your scene. And you have to give a name to that scene. Let's say level 1. Okay. See you in next tutorial.